Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. Last week I uploaded a video about my reading goals for 2022 and I talked about some series and authors that I definitely want to read next year. And today I thought I'd share with you 5 books that I was absolutely sure I would read in 2021. And I now have to admit it's not gonna happen. So there's obviously always a ton of books that you want to read in a year, but these 5 are shocking to me. Like, I had really set plans to read these books and somehow I didn't. So let's start out with the one that I've had for the longest, and that is also the shortest book on the list, and so probably the biggest surprise, and that is Normal People by Sally Rooney. This is a book I got for my birthday from one of my bookish friends, and this is one of her favorite books, I believe, and I really thought we would do a buddy read where she rereads this and I read along, so we can discuss it. I really thought we would get around to doing that, but for some reason this book always gives me like spring summer vibes, so right now I have no interest in picking it up just because I'm a seasonal reader. But yeah, somehow this is still unread, and it is definitely because of the pressure I feel to like it. I know that Sally Rooney is one of these authors that a lot of people love, and the people that don't like her dislike her with a passion. So yeah, we'll see, but this is very high on my list to read in 2022 because it's shameful to still have not read this. Then the next 2 books were new releases early this year, like in 2021, and I really wanted to read these. I was so excited for these books, but especially because of Brexit in the beginning of the year, it was very hard to get new releases. It still is difficult, but I feel like in the beginning of the year when Brexit just happened, a lot of things were more difficult. So these books came out in the beginning of the year, but they didn't get here until later. I can't really tell you anymore. I would have to go back and check on my reading vlogs when I hauled them. But yeah, I have started reading vlogs where the only books I would have to read are these 2. So I have started a reading vlog about historical fiction focusing on women, and for that I still have not read Wild Women and the Blues, even though this is the book that started this idea of the reading vlog. This is by Denny S. Bryce. I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about this, but the cover is absolutely stunning. I do love a good historical fiction, and this is set in the 20s, which is my favorite time period to read about and to watch movies about. I think it also focuses on characters of color, so that's also something that a lot of historical fiction is lacking still. So everything about this book screams my name, especially the cover. So why have I not read this book? I have no excuse. I'm actually really bummed I haven't read it yet. And I definitely want to do that as soon as possible in 2022 to finish off those damn reading vlogs, because I recorded the first parts of that one in the summer. And the other one is a reading vlog where I wanted to read books that have this kind of cover design with like the pinks and the greens, because a lot of books do look like that right now. And the one I haven't read for that reading vlog yet, even though I am super excited about it, is How Beautiful We Were by Mbolo Mbue. And this one sounds so fantastic. This one focuses on a village in in Africa. I don't know if it says somewhere where exactly. I think it's a fictional place. It is called Kosawa, and this village is kind of fighting against an American oil company who basically want to destroy the environment there to make money, as always. So again, a book that just screams my name. I love reading African fiction, and I love reading, you know, about the environment and just you know, the idea of this kind of like David versus Goliath thing with this tiny town versus an oil company. It just sounds so good, and I've heard really good things about it too. So it's shameful. It's really shameful, and I hope that I can get these 2 books out of the way in January so I can upload these reading vlogs. Okay, enough self-shaming. Now I have 2 books that I really wanted to read, but I'm not beating myself up that I didn't read them. It's just that I really wanted to read them in 2021. And the first one is one, again, where it has a lot to do with shipping English books in Germany, and that is Empire of Sand by Tasha Suri. This is the first book in a duology, and Tasha Suri just put out a new book, I think The Jasmine Throne, which also sounds amazing, but I wanted to start at the beginning with Empire of Sand. It sounds fantastic. I mean, it's a fantasy and it has a desert setting. Like, that's all I'm about. I'm all about that. So why haven't I read it yet? I did the thing with my best friend where we have this kind of challenge, who reads 5,000 pages first. We do that about once a year whenever we feel like it's a good time to try, and we just use that to kind of, you know, push the reading a little bit. And I won that challenge. I usually do, let's be honest. And the prize is a book. And so I wished for this one as my prize. And my best friend ordered it, but she ordered it through a store which took months to deliver it. So I think we did that during the Asian Readathon, so I think that happened in May, if I'm not completely mistaken. And I was really hopeful that I could read this as my last book of the Asian Readathon, but I only got it in August because it took so long. So yeah, I really thought I would be able to squeeze it in the summer, but I wasn't. And just because of the setting and the, you know, kind of feel, I think this would be a very nice read going into the summer. So I'll probably wait a little bit until I read this and then hopefully get the second book in this series much faster and finish the duology off. The last one, though, is a book that I just very recently acquired, and I'm not mad about not reading it yet, but I just had really hoped that I could fit it in, and that is The God of Lost Words by A.J. Hackworth. And this one, again, is a book I've been looking so forward to. This is the finale in the Hell's Library series. The first one is The Library of the Unwritten. I have read book 1 and 2 in that series and loved them. I think I gave both of them 4.5 stars, and I do really like this series. So I was hoping that I could reread the first 2 books and finish this one off in December, but unfortunately my life has gotten really messy right now. I have a lot of things that are quite troubling, and so I just wasn't able to read a lot. I thought that, you know, I had decided to make some changes to my plans so I wouldn't be as stressed, but then things happened and I got even more stressed. So yeah, it just didn't happen. As I said, I'm not super mad about it, but I hope that I can maybe reread this in January or February and finally finish off the last book, because I love these characters with a passion and I just want to know how they'll all end up. I think that A.J. Hackworth really has a gift of creating such complex characters with such complex dynamics and relationships. It's just amazing. So yeah, I definitely want to see where the story goes for these characters that I love so dearly, and I'm excited to finish that series off soon. So yeah, that's the books that I am actually shocked that I haven't read them in 2021. As you can see, I definitely plan on reading all of these very soon so I can get them off my chest, because with them I really feel so bad. But yeah, sometimes, you know, you just can't read all the books for some reason. I don't know whose idea that was, but yeah. It just happens. So please, in the comments, let me know books that you really thought you would read this year and then somehow didn't, because I would love to see whether you have any of those. I know that Riley Marie, which is one of my favorite booktubers, does this kind of TBR redo challenge. So she goes back to the TBR videos she did a year ago and then sees whether she hasn't actually finished books of that list, and then she reads those. So I think that's such a funny concept, to look back on the year and look at the books where you had a very solid plan of reading them and then they just kind of fell through and you didn't get around to them. So yeah, if you have any of these books, let me know. I would love to hear it. And apart from that, I hope you had a wonderful 2021. I hope that you will have an even more wonderful 2022. It seems like it shouldn't be that difficult, but like, we didn't have high expectations for 2021 and still it sucked way more than 2020. So we'll see about that. But we still have books to escape, and that's the most important thing. So I wish you the best and I will talk to you soon. Bye!